A Buffalo, New York grocery store, the July 4th parade in Highland Park, the school in Uvalde, Texas. The recent mass shootings have leaders across the country looking at red flag laws.
Those laws are designed to keep people who are a danger to themselves and or others from having or buying guns. Florida's had one in place since 2018 after the massacre in Parkland.
Tonight, West 2's Bob Hazen investigates Florida's red flag laws, who they target, and their limitations.
One young man who's banned from having guns repeatedly said last year he was going to shoot up this high school. We found dozens of cases where the red flag law has been used in Orange County, including a few cases involving members of law enforcement. This video from 2020 shows a man with a rifle in the street downtown Orlando, at one point even firing a shot. Soon after, Orlando police asked for a risk protection order against him, the legal term for the red flag law. Law enforcement agencies in Orange County have asked for those orders in more than 100 cases. Apopka police have done it close to 20 times.
It's not the end-all, be-all to all situations, but it is a tool for us to use and to consider.
I went through every red flag law case in Orange County. Some came after incidents that we've reported on before. A Winter Park man who posted about shooting up a Walmart soon after the massacre at a Texas store, and a UCF student who'd been accused of having a fully automatic AR-15 on campus. But there are dozens more that haven't made headlines. Last year, the Orange County Sheriff's Office got an RPO for a 20-year-old man they say told multiple people, including a deputy, he was going to, quote, kill a lot of people at Freedom High School. In 2020, a former security guard at the FBI office in Maitland allegedly attacked the gate there before telling an agent to shoot me. And a man who, among other things, came to Apopka PD wearing body armor with another man in handcuffs to turn him in. We also discovered 3 cases filed on law enforcement officers, an Orange County deputy and 2 Orlando police officers. Documents show one officer texted his wife that he wanted to, quote, put on my dress blues and end this. In almost every red flag case, the subjects are suffering from mental illness, depression, substance abuse, some with post-traumatic stress from military service, which is why we're not identifying them. Apopka's police chief says the law helps take guns out of those dangerous situations.
Our hope is that while we have the firearms, that they'll seek and get the treatment they need.
In most cases, judges do grant a final risk protection order lasting 1 year, but in some, people do fight to keep their guns.
When you give law enforcement in the courts unfettered discretion, that people get hurt then too.
Attorney Kendra Paris has represented many people trying to keep their guns in red flag cases and won several. She believes domestic violence injunctions and the Baker Act should already keep guns from dangerous people, and that the red flag law cuts too close to the Second Amendment without doing much to prevent a mass shooting.
I think that they can potentially prevent some suicides, could potentially prevent some sort of domestic violence situations, but that's not how they were sold to the public.
The law also has limits. Apopka police got an RPO against Pablo Taveras in April 2019.
He was walking down, the neighborhood he lived in, walking down the street with a handgun, just firing it straight up into the air.
But later that year, Taveras was arrested for murdering 2 women, at least one of the killings happening after a judge issued the RPO. Apopka's chief tells me he believes it could be improved, including requiring that people subject to the red flag law get help.
There's no requirement that they continue or receive counseling while we have their firearms, and nothing that says that they've received the treatment that they need in order to have that firearm back.
In Orlando, Bob Hazen, West 2 News.
Records show statewide the red flag law has been used close to 6,000 times since it was passed 4 years ago. If you have something West 2 Investigates should look into, we want to hear from you. Email the team at investigates@wesh.com.